Welcome back, everybody. Today we're diving into a fascinating idea.
Oh, yeah.
The idea of faith and love
Uh-huh.
as the highest forms of intelligence.
Intelligence.
We're not talking like IQ tests or,
Nope.
anything like that.
Not even close.
This is a whole different way of thinking about what it means to be smart.
That's right.
Yeah.
A completely different perspective on intelligence.
So,
What are we looking at today?
well, we're going to be exploring
Okay.
some excerpts from Faith and Love, the Pinnacles of Divine Intelligence
Okay.
by WaXhira,
Interesting.
founder of the Sacred Atlantean Brotherhood.
The Atlantean Brotherhood.
Yes.
What's that all about?
Well, they're a group that's really focused on wisdom and knowledge,
Right.
but not the typical kind.
I see.
They kind of delve into these mysteries of consciousness
Okay.
and human potential.
Human potential.
Yeah.
So are they saying that, like,
Mm.
someone like Mother Teresa
Okay.
is more intelligent than,
Oh, yeah.
say, like a brilliant scientist?
Yeah.
Yes, actually.
Yeah.
The source material lays out, like, a whole
Like a
spectrum of intelligence.
Okay.
Okay. And it all starts with, like, the most basic level.
Okay.
The intelligence of matter itself.
Uh-huh.
Think about how atoms, just attract or repel each other.
Mm.
Then we move up to, like, the intelligence of living things.
Right.
With all this amazing complexity of how our bodies function.
Yeah, the body is pretty amazing.
Yeah, definitely.
But how do faith and love
Okay.
fit into all of this?
Well, that's where things get really interesting.
Okay.
The source argues that emotional intelligence,
Okay.
our ability to understand
Right.
and manage feelings,
Mm-hmm.
is actually a higher form of intelligence
Yes.
than those that we just talked about.
Okay.
Then comes understanding
Uh-huh.
above that intuition.
Intuition, like,
Yeah, those gut feelings.
right, those like flashes of insight.
Exactly, like they come from nowhere.
So intuition is at the top of the intelligence pyramid.
Not quite.
Yeah.
According to this framework,
Okay.
faith and love are even higher than intuition.
What?
They're seen as like the pinnacles of divine intelligence.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Isn't faith just like blind belief?
That's a good question.
How can that be intelligent?
So the source defines faith a little differently.
Okay.
It's not about blindly accepting something without evidence.
No. No.
Instead, it's like an active creative force,
Hmm.
a deep trust in the universe
Okay.
and in our own potential.
Our own potential.
Yeah, it's about aligning ourselves with that potential
I see.
and envisioning possibilities
Okay.
beyond our current limitations.
Okay. I'm starting to see what they're getting at,
Yeah.
but I'm still a little stuck on the love part.
Okay.
How can love be intelligent?
Yeah.
Isn't it just an emotion?
Well, the source describes love as
Okay.
more than just a fleeting feeling.
Mm.
It's a state of being,
Hmm.
a force that connects us to something
Okay.
greater than ourselves.
Okay.
They use Mother Teresa as an example.
Okay.
Her life dedicated to helping others,
Mm-hmm.
driven by a profound love for humanity.
So her love wasn't just a
it's-
passive feeling.
It fueled her actions
Right.
and inspired others.
Yeah. It's making me think about times in my own life when love,
Oh, yeah.
whether for a partner or a friend or even a cause, has pushed me to do things I might not have thought possible.
Uh-huh.
How about you?
Oh, absolutely.
Have you felt that inspired,
Mm.
motivating power of love?
Yeah, but that's just one side of the coin.
Okay.
We've talked about faith and love separately,
Mm-hmm.
but the source really emphasizes their synergy.
Okay.
They work best together.
So what happens if you have one without the other?
The source suggests that while both are powerful on their own,
Okay.
they can become unbalanced without each other.
Unbalanced.
Yeah, faith without love
Mm.
can become rigid and dogmatic,
Right.
while love without faith might lack direction
Direction.
and staying power.
Okay. So you need both.
Exactly.
Can you give me like
Yeah.
a concrete example of
Absolutely.
how this faith-love combo?
Think about the civil rights movement.
Okay.
Leaders like Martin Luther King Jr.
Right.
drew strength from both their unwavering faith in justice
Okay.
and their deep love for humanity.
Yeah.
That combination allowed them to persevere
Yeah.
through incredible challenges
Right.
and ultimately bring about significant change.
So it wasn't just about like having a belief
No.
or feeling strongly about
It
something.
was the combination of both
Okay. So it was the combination.
that created a truly powerful force.
So how do we tap into this kind of divine intelligence? Should we all be joining the Atlantean
Oh,
Brotherhood?
that's a great question.
Yeah.
That's a great question. While exploring their work can be really insightful,
Okay.
The source suggests that this divine intelligence
Okay.
isn't exclusive to any one group or anything.
Oh.
They believe these qualities are inherent
Inherent.
within all of us.
Mm.
It's more about recognizing and nurturing them
Okay.
than joining like a specific organization.
I see.
Think of like a seed
A seed.
that's already planted within you.
Okay.
The potential is there, waiting for the right conditions to grow.
I like that.
Yeah.
But practically speaking, what does that even look like? Are we talking about like meditation?
It could be.
Yeah.
It could be all of those things
Volunteering.
and more.
Okay.
The key, as the source puts it, is to
Okay.
connect with that part of ourselves
Okay.
that feels connected to something larger.
Large.
It's something beyond our individual ego.
Right.
It's about aligning ourselves with what they call our divine nature.
So what does divine nature mean? Is this getting into like religious territory?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
It's more about tapping into that sense of wonder,
Okay.
purpose, and interconnectedness that many people experience.
Regardless of their religious beliefs?
Exactly.
Okay.
It could be through nature,
Nature?
art, music, acts of service, anything that helps us feel connected to something bigger than ourselves.
So it's about like quieting the mental chatter,
Yeah,
getting out of our own heads,
exactly.
tuning into that deeper...
Sense of knowing and trust.
Right. Instead of like constantly analyzing
Mm-hmm.
and questioning everything,
Right.
we allow ourselves to simply be present
Be present.
and have faith that things will unfold as they should.
Exactly. And that's where love comes in.
Love.
Yeah, when we cultivate love.
Oh, okay.
Not just for ourselves, but for others.
Right.
And for the world around us.
Mm-hmm.
It expands our capacity for compassion, understanding, and connection.
And that
And that, in turn,
fuels our faith.
yeah, giving us that strength and motivation to keep moving forward even when things get tough.
So faith and love
Yeah,
are like two sides of the same coin,
exactly.
supporting and amplifying each other.
There's this upward spiral
Yeah.
of positive energy and action.
Right. The more we nurture these qualities,
Yes,
the more intelligent we become,
precisely.
not just intellectually,
Not just intellectually.
but in a much deeper, more meaningful way.
Exactly. And it challenges us
Yeah.
to rethink what it truly means to be intelligent.
To be intelligent.
It's not just about accumulating knowledge
Right.
or solving complex problems.
It's about...
It's about cultivating faith and love,
Okay.
qualities that allow us to tap into our full potential as human beings.
It really makes you wonder, how would our world be different
Mm.
if we all viewed faith and love as essential forms of intelligence?
That's a great point.
Would we approach problems differently?
Yeah.
Would we treat each other with more compassion? Would we make decisions
Right.
based on something deeper than
Yeah.
just logic and self-interest?
Those are really powerful questions to consider.
Yeah, and I think they get to the heart
You do.
of what this source is trying to convey.
Yeah. It's not just about redefining intelligence.
Okay.
It's about how that redefined understanding could impact the way we live, the choices we make.
Right.
Ultimately, the kind of world we create.
It's definitely a lot to think about.
It is.
So for our listener out there,
Yeah.
what are some practical steps
Right.
they can take to start cultivating more faith and love in their own lives?
Great question.
Because it can all feel a bit abstract.
It definitely can.
You know?
And the source acknowledges that
Okay.
there's no one-size-fits-all approach.
Right.
The journey is unique to each individual.
Okay.
But I think the first step is awareness.
Awareness.
Recognizing that these qualities aren't just abstract concepts,
Okay.
but powerful forces that are available to all of us.
So like that old saying, knowing is half the battle.
Exactly.
Okay.
Once we acknowledge the power of faith and love,
Mm-hmm.
we can start looking for ways to bring more of these qualities into our daily lives.
And I imagine that doesn't have to involve like grand gestures
Yeah.
or life-altering decisions.
Not at all.
Can it be as simple as like
Yeah.
incorporating small acts of kindness, practicing gratitude, or choosing to focus on the positive?
Exactly. It's about those small, consistent choices
Okay.
that gradually shift our perspective
Uh-huh.
and create a more fertile ground for faith and love to flourish.
So it's
So
low.
think about it this way.
Okay.
If you want a plant to thrive,
Yeah.
you don't just water it once and expect miracles.
Right.
You nurture it consistently,
Consistently.
provide the right conditions for it to grow.
Right. So cultivating faith and love is similar.
It's an ongoing process
Okay.
of nurturing those aspects of ourselves.
Okay. I see where you're going with this.
Okay.
But what about those times when we're faced with real challenges? When doubt creeps in,
Yeah.
or we feel like giving up,
That's a great point. How
How-
can faith and love...
and something the source touches upon.
Okay.
They suggest that in those challenging times,
Right.
faith can act as an anchor.
An anchor.
Reminding us that even in the midst of uncertainty,
Okay.
there's a larger force at play.
Guiding us towards our highest good.
Our highest good.
It's about trusting
Okay.
that even when we can't see the whole path,
Right.
we're not alone.
Not alone.
We're being supported on our journey.
That's a beautiful thought.
Yeah.
And it brings me back to something you said earlier
Okay.
about love's ability to fuel our faith.
Uh-huh.
So even when we're struggling,
Yeah.
if we can tap into that wellspring of love,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's for ourselves, for others, for a greater purpose,
Yeah.
it can give us the strength to keep going.
Precisely. And that's the beauty
Okay.
of this interconnectedness between faith and love.
Mm-hmm.
They support and strengthen each other,
Right.
creating a powerful force that can help us navigate even the most challenging situations.
It's been an incredibly insightful conversation.
It has been.
And I have to admit, when we first started talking about faith and love as intelligence,
Yeah.
I was a little skeptical.
I understand.
But now I'm seeing these concepts in a whole new light.
Okay.
It's like a door has opened to a deeper understanding
Yeah.
of what it means to live
Mhm.
a truly fulfilling and impactful life.
I'm glad to hear that. And I think that's a key takeaway
Okay.
for our listener as well.
For the listener.
It's about recognizing that true intelligence goes far beyond
Yeah.
what we can measure with tests or quantify with data.
Right.
It's about tapping into something much deeper,
Deeper.
something that connects us to each other
Right.
and to the universe itself.
So as we wrap up this part of our deep dive,
Right.
I'm curious to hear from you, dear listener.
Yes.
What are your initial thoughts?
Yeah, what are your thoughts?
On this concept of faith and love as intelligence, does it resonate with you?
Yeah, does it challenge your existing beliefs?
Right.
Does it spark any new questions?
We'd love to hear your perspective. It's amazing how we often just limit our understanding of intelligence
Right.
to purely cognitive abilities, you know?
Yeah, we focus so much on
Yeah.
logic, reason, and just acquiring knowledge that we overlook these powerful forces
Yeah.
of faith and love.
Which, as we've discussed, can be incredibly intelligent
It can be.
in their own right.
Absolutely.
What if we all started viewing faith and love as essential forms of intelligence?
How would that change things?
Right. Would it change how we approach challenges?
It could.
How we interact with each other?
It really could.
How we make decisions?
That's big and small.
Yeah, both big and small.
That's a powerful question.
Yeah, a powerful question for our listener to consider.
Instead of just relying on
What if,
data and logic and analysis,
what if we tapped into these
right,
deeper wells of faith and love?
could it lead to more innovative solutions,
Right.
stronger relationships, a greater sense of purpose and fulfillment?
It's definitely something to ponder.
It is.
Let's bring it back down to practicality.
Okay.
Our listener might be thinking,
Yeah.
okay, this all sounds great,
Hmm.
but how do I actually cultivate more faith and love
Right.
in my own life?
How do I do that?
Where do I even begin?
No, the source suggests that it's
Yeah.
less about creating faith and love
Uh-huh.
and more about recognizing and nurturing what's already there.
Okay.
Think of it like tending a garden.
Okay.
You don't create the seeds.
Right.
You simply provide the right conditions for them to grow.
So what are some of those right conditions
Okay.
for cultivating faith and love?
Well,
What practical steps?
the source offers a few thought-provoking ideas.
Okay.
One is the practice of mindfulness,
Mindfulness?
being fully present in the moment
Okay.
without judgment or distraction.
Right.
When we quiet that constant mental chatter
Mm-hmm.
and just observe our thoughts and feelings,
Right.
we create space for deeper insights
Okay.
and a sense of connection to something larger than ourselves.
So it's like hitting the pause button
Yeah,
on like the whirlwind of daily life
exactly.
and tuning into a different frequency.
And from that place of stillness and presence,
Okay.
we can begin to cultivate a deeper sense of trust. Trust in ourselves.
Yeah.
Trust in the unfolding of life.
Mm-hmm.
And trust in that divine intelligence that the source speaks of.
So it's about like letting go of the need
Yeah.
to control everything
Letting go,
and allowing ourselves to kind of surrender
surrender to something bigger.
to something bigger.
It's about recognizing that we're not always in control.
Okay.
And that's okay.
Okay.
It can actually be incredibly liberating.
Liberating. How so?
It allows us to tap into a deeper wisdom,
Hmm.
a guiding force
Mm.
that's always there, even when we can't see it.
And how does love fit into all this?
Okay.
What are some practical ways to cultivate
Yeah.
more love in our lives?
The source emphasizes extending love beyond ourselves.
Okay.
Beyond ourselves.
Yeah.
It's about cultivating compassion,
Right.
empathy and kindness.
Okay.
Not just towards those we're close to,
Mm-hmm.
but towards all beings.
Okay.
Small acts of kindness,
Right.
words of encouragement, a willingness to listen without judgment.
Right.
These simple actions can have a ripple effect, creating a more loving and compassionate world.
It's like that saying,
Be the change you want to see.
be the change you want to see in the world.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be grand gestures.
No, it's about those everyday moments of choice.
Right.
Choosing to respond with love instead of fear.
Okay.
Understanding instead of judgment.
So as we cultivate more love,
Yeah.
it naturally strengthens our faith.
Exactly. Faith in ourselves, faith in humanity, faith in the possibility of a better world.
It's incredible how these two qualities,
They really are.
faith and love, intertwine and support each other,
Yeah.
creating this powerful force for positive change.
They really do.
And it all starts with a shift in perspective.
Perspective.
Choosing to view faith and love
Yeah.
not as weaknesses,
Well, not as weaknesses.
but as essential forms of intelligence.
That's it. That's the key takeaway.
Yeah, that's a key takeaway for our listener today.
Challenge those conventional notions of intelligence.
Right.
Embrace the power of faith and love.
Yeah.
Nurture these qualities within yourself.
Okay.
And as you do, observe how it transforms your life
Yeah.
and the world around you.
This has been such an inspiring and thought-provoking deep dive.
Us.
Huge thanks to our expert
Oh, thank you.
for sharing their insights and helping us
My pleasure.
navigate this fascinating topic.
Absolutely.
And to our listener,
Yes.
we encourage you to continue exploring this concept.
Yeah. Keep exploring.
Reflect on the role of faith and love in your own life. Seek out examples of their power in the world around you.
You'll see them.
And above all, trust in your own innate intelligence.
Trust.
That divine spark within you that's capable of creating incredible things.
Beautifully said.
Until next time, keep
Yes.
seeking.
Keep exploring.
Keep exploring.
And keep believing in the power of faith and love.